Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Play On. My name is Candace Barrett.
I'm Rob Mackay.
And Piercy is off today because he is super busy. And I think what I found really funny, I listened to the pod last week and having someone else say my intro was quite funny.
It's not the same without you, Candace. It really isn't. Only Candace can be Candace. And that is a wonderful thing. So, yes, welcome back. I'm glad you're back.
But yeah,
and
you guys survived without me.
We somehow survived. We stumbled and bumbled our way through, a couple of buffy blokes, but it's good to see you back on deck and leading the team. So tell us about your week. What happened?
Yeah, so I took a week off. So I did a road trip from Bathurst down to Corowa, which is sort of like at the Victoria State sort of border. So my partner has a water ski boat and it's literally falling apart. No joke, the first 20 minutes, the tower bolt came off and we had a tower of the boat.
No.
So,
on the trip?
Yeah.
Oh.
So every hour or 2 hours, we had to reclip everything together.
Yeah.
And then I went to a yoga retreat for 3 days, which was beautiful, which is why I was very much MIA. One, there's barely any connection. And two, the sort of vibe is like, no connection with your phones. You need to and there's so many workshops and yoga and things to do that I didn't have any time to really go on my phone. So that was really nice. Namaste.
I always have a bit of a chuckle about yoga retreats because they always seem to figure in TV police procedurals because someone always seems to get murdered at yoga retreats.
Yeah, I was sort of thinking that too when I was there.
Yeah.
I was like, these bushwalks that we're doing.
So that's good.
And there's a few kooky people that go on to them as well.
Yeah, correct. There's a crazy
and I went
cast
from
of
yoga
characters,
retreat to traveling to Debo and refereeing a match. So it was the complete opposite.
Back to reality.
Yeah, I know, eh? So yeah, that was a good game. It was the first time I actually gave a penalty at halfway after a conversion and try and stuff. So that was something that I've never done before. You sort of see it being done, and I think I could have done better with selling it a bit more on both teams. That's just something I learned from just being able to sell it with the captain, pull them out into your own space, do the same with the other captain, and then do it. But I've learned from it, and it was an interesting thing.
Well, I think that's one of our themes, isn't it? It doesn't matter what level of match official you are, you're always learning. So,
correct, Mundo.
Yeah, bravo to you. Another new experience. We love that, don't we?
Yeah.
So I had a new experience.
I'm about to say you definitely had something over the weekend.
Yes. I jumped on a plane and headed to Albany in Auckland, north of Auckland.
Part of the exchange.
I was a part of the New South Wales Rugby Referees Association and North Harbour Rugby Referees Association exchange. So 3 of us headed east and a few of them came this way. So we had a great old time. Apparently they've been in a bit of a drought. Well, we fixed that. So
was it?
It was
lots of rain.
Yes. About halfway across the Tasman, the calm blue waters of the Tasman Sea disappeared. And Aotearoa lived up to its name. So there was a lot of cloud and a lot of rain and a lot of wind. So it was rugby conditions writ large, which is all part of the experience, right? So we had one mod with us and 2 of us were on the whistle. So the New Zealand system, timing-wise, is a little different. So their Premiership Rugby, or Prem 1, I think they call it, had just finished because it wraps up and then they have a little hiatus and then they move into the NPC. So the NPC kicks off this coming week. Basically, we had schools games and there was an under 85 kilo grand final that was on as well. So we did our schools game and then chuffed up the road to watch the under 85s final, which is a cracking game.
So they do it by weight?
Not all the time, but that's one of their competitions. And it's interesting because your body shape difference isn't as great because your second rowers and your number 9s are essentially same weight, so you sort of less variation.
Yeah.
But it also makes for generally a faster game and a different scrum scenario as well. And it was windy, and the host team was going through a three-peat. Spoiler alert, they got there. But when I got to the ground, it was really windy, and I was looking at the goalposts, which were quite high, and I was thinking they might touch at the top.
Really?
It was really windy. I didn't have my phone with me, sadly, at that point, so I wanted to video it. And then when I got back to the spot, I was handed a venison sausage. That took priority. And a shout out to Nipper and Doris for the venison sausages at the back of the tailgate. They're a previous under 85 kilo team who had won the title, and they come back every year at the grand final and get on the tailgate and the venison sausages. Oh, and the Galway port. So I had a little bit of that as well. So thank you for that. So shout out to those guys. And then we went and watched the footy. So yeah, we had a great time. Really worthwhile cultural exchange, seeing different part of the world, seeing how they do things differently, but also seeing how they do a lot of things the same. And that
in terms of like the rugby that they play, or like the society, or what do you mean by that?
Yeah, just the compare and contrast between the associations and the structure of the game and the calendar, and how they manage their referees and the issues they face. There's more in common than not, really, which is both good and bad, because there's some good things and there's some bad things.
Well, it's nice to go on those to see, like the point is to like learn if there's anything we can bring and do over here. And they're probably wanting to understand how either you referee or how like the society is set up and everything like that. Yeah. So I think, like anything, it works both ways. But I'm glad you had a great experience. Totally. And you left on the Sunday?
Yeah, came back on the Sunday. Yeah. So Rob's travel diary, watch out for it somewhere soon. We're putting something together for everyone on this side of the Tasman, so we'll share that shortly. So yeah, stay tuned. So that was that was my weekend. Bit unusual.
I love it. Shall we move on to some general rugby news? There's lots of
general rugby news.
News. There's Women's Super Rugby Championship finals. So that is Waratahs versus a New Zealand team. I don't have Auckland. The New Zealand team. There we go. Thank you.
Auckland.
And it's August 1st around 5:30 p.m. for those that want to tune in. It should be exciting.
Yes, this Saturday at what some people call the Eighth Wonder, Leichhardt Oval, number 1, and that'll be a cracking game. So, Trans-Tasman, there's our theme, blue versus blue, and that's really exciting.
And then in terms of appointments, Rob, do you have or do you know anything for that? Should they stay tuned?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
So should we do that now? Or should we do that later?
I would like to know now. If we want to make people to wait till the end, we could.
I think we should hold back on that because we do our appointments at the end.
Yes.
So
okay, this is a teaser. So
this is a teaser. I'm nothing but a teaser. So yes. Well, there's a bit of a recurring theme, isn't there, this week? So, yes, off you go.
Next would be WXV, and we mentioned it before, but now I've seen like they're starting to amp up the socials and things about it as well for the split and the timings of it all. So the WXV Global Series features 18 of the world's leading women national teams competing in a new international competition model. So it'll be across September and October. It'll take the top 12 teams compete in a home and away. So it's cross-regional touring model. They have 6 emerging nations contests.
Yeah, so there's 2 tiers. There's the top 12 and then there's the next 6. The top 12 do home and away. The next 6, they actually do essentially a tournament in...
Is that in Hong Kong?
Hong Kong, China.
Yeah.
Yeah, at Kai Tak. So Kai Tak's the old airport, which has now been turned into the sports ground where they had the 7s. They'll be there for a couple of weeks in a hothouse, literally and metaphorically. And there's a sponsor as well. So Mitsubishi Electric have put their hand in their pocket. They're sponsoring it for the next 3 years, which is a big step up, more than 100 international tests. And that's all part of leading into the 2029 World Cup here in Australia. So that's a really big step because it gives clarity around the calendar for those nations and more importantly, from our point of view, for the match officials, because now if you're a match official manager or a
it's
match
good in
official,
in New Zealand and Australia, because our sort of series sort of finishes around that August, September. So it's nice to know that you can then move on and have something for September and October to keep on building throughout the year.
yeah, absolutely.
And then for English people, this is sort of their preseason, so they have a bit of a break now. So it's nice that they can maybe build up a bit of strength and everything going into like September, October. So I think the timing works out great.
Yeah, there's that window, isn't there? So, and it's starting to get a little bit like the men's window. So, we've got this block in September. There's 3 weeks in September, and then there's a gap of a couple of weeks, and then there's 3 weekends in October for the home and aways. And on top of that, we also know, for example, the Wallaroos play the Black Ferns as well, which is outside this framework. So there's a lot happening in the women's space, and with the Women's World Cup only 3 years away, this needs to ramp up. And it also means with this many matches, we're going to need to bring through some match officials because
correct, Amando.
And that's going to create some really good opportunity, particularly at the challenger level, which is where you tend to blood your new test referees. There's some great opportunities here. And that hothouse tournament in Hong Kong is the perfect environment. I mean, we've all been to tournaments where you live in with your fellow match officials and match official developers. It's a great way to develop and accelerate your capability. So, I mean, that's really exciting.
Yay!
Yeah.
Get excited, everyone. Next, there is an Impact Beyond Legacy program launched. I saw this as well. Is this from investing back into like the World Cup and the Women's World Cup? Is it that one?
There's a lot going on here. So there was a massive announcement yesterday about the Impact Beyond Legacy program.
Yeah.
Which is tied to both them. Yeah. There was a lot of press around it. It's tied to both World Cups, and this is government funding. Now, the overall government funding figure, the headline figure is 90 million.
Damn.
To support the 2 World Cups. But within that 90, there's a particular 30 that's allocated to the Impact Beyond program. And that in turn is split 50-50 between, so 15 million each into Australia and the Pacifica. So as part of our, if you like, custodianship as the big dog in this part of the world, $15 million is being invested in Pacifica rugby.
Perfect. Great news.
Yeah. But the underlying theme, and again, this continues on from WXV, there's a strong and really deliberate emphasis being placed on women's and girls rugby across all the programs. So there will be something for everyone, but there's a real emphasis on the women's and girls because that's the bit that's got the growth and let's be honest, needs the investment because the demand is there. But
if you invest,
as we know,
they will come, and we've got money too. So
they will
be wanting to spend on merch and being able to be out there with all your close sports mates as like a player point of view, and even for match officials. It's the next 5 years looks really exciting. So get involved.
Well, that's right.
Plus,
and as part of that,
probably.
The 15 million isn't just about players. It's about everything, the whole ecosystem. And there's some numbers attached to it about growth targets, etc. But it's about facilities, it's about community, it's about players, it's about match officials, it's about competitions, the whole ecosystem to support and grow the game. So again, there's going to be a need for a massive growth in match official numbers to match the growth in player numbers. So that means we're going to need match officials, we're going to need grounds, we're going to need coaches, we're going to need a whole bunch of things. All the
administration stuff, like people that go on the ground and do all that back-end work as well. So, I agree.
Yeah. So it's a significant investment, not to be sneezed at, and we should welcome it and make the most of it because it's a great opportunity to grow the game, particularly in that women's and girls space. So, bravo.
Woo. That was some of our general rugby news. Now we're going to move on to some more match official rugby news. I was going to start off with the Maggie Cogger-Orr. What I found was really cute was, it was All Blacks versus Ireland at Eden Park. And there was this adorable 13-year-old Fiji up-and-coming aspiring referee. And Maggie surprised her and was able to give her like a sideline ticket, basically. Got to bring her down there and just get the whole experience. And I think like it's great that the parent reached out to New Zealand Referee Society for that as well. But also I think it just lets you just show that like this is the possibility. Like you don't have to be in the stands. You can be right there on the sideline, close in person as a match official. So yeah, I think it was a really cute experience. It's on socials and it's so adorable.
I think it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous for just about every reason you can think of. I mean, that's Maggie to a T, right?
Mm-hmm.
Outstanding human and doing good things for another kid who's just, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and yeah, it's just gorgeous. So well done to
Yay.
everybody involved in that. That's awesome.
Yeah. And then should we give a disciplinary update about our Argentinian fellow who is this the person Tomás Albornoz?
Albornoz, yes. So
he was the
you
one who
may
gave
recall...
a sass and terrible back chat to Angus after the final whistle as well. And you could
Correct.
Is it that? Yeah. And you could see
Correct.
even the water person was like, you need to like shut up and move away, and he just wouldn't. So anyway.
Yeah, there was a bit going on at the end of the Argentina-England test, as we may have discussed previously, and there were hints of soccer behaviour. A couple of the players crossed the line, in my humble opinion. To the credit of most of the Argentinian players and management, they were trying to corral their players, but a couple got through, and Tomás Albornoz was probably the worst of them.
Correct.
And so then everyone was going, okay, well, what's going to happen here? Because this is actually not a World Rugby tournament. It's a tournament run by SANZAAR and Six Nations. World Rugby runs the Nations Cup, which is the tier below. But, and this is the interesting thing, SANZAAR didn't call him to discipline. World Rugby did. And I really like that. So World Rugby are going, no, we're not letting you handle that because, for whatever reason, we're going to do it. So he's now on the hook. There's a process that's been started. There hasn't been an update since it was announced.
Wouldn't it be a fine?
No.
Extra weeks off?
Yeah, no, I expect he'll do time.
Oh, no, I thought that. I'm like, is there a fine as well?
No, we don't usually fine. No. So, I mean,
that's a real, like, American football thing as well.
Yeah, and motorsport like doing that. We won't take points off you. We'll just hit you with a couple of $100,000 fine. So, yeah, that's not the rugby way. No, he will, I expect, get a sanction of some sort. So I thought we might have had an outcome by now, but we don't. But it's definitely there, and there's an opportunity to set a very clear standard, and I expect that will happen.
I'm surprised as well, Rob, why they haven't announced it. Surely they have a bunch of footage. Angus was mic'd up. I'm very confused by why they haven't announced anything yet.
I think it's as simple as the fact that there's a little bit of a hiatus in the calendar. So getting everyone together to go through the process has been... yeah, that's right. I don't think there's any lack of will. It's just lining up the ducks, so getting everyone's diary clear. Because there's no urgency, because there's no test to be played. If there'd been a test last weekend or this weekend, they would have found a way to do it, because there's not. And he's probably sitting on a deck chair somewhere in the Mediterranean sipping cocktails.
That's the annoying thing, though.
He's on his break,
I feel as though there's the high and there is lots of socials and like people commenting on it. Yeah, I feel as though leaving it too far apart, people are going to forget about it, but us as match officials aren't. And what's that going to do for any other potential games where people still feel like that's okay when there hasn't been announced the discipline? So while everyone's talking about it, it's probably good to do it within a certain period of time. If not, people are like, oh, that guy, he said he did those things. Oh, I haven't really heard anything about it lately. Oh, so I guess it's sort of all right to do.
Well, it's
when
a very
it's not.
Good point, because we're thick in the middle of our season, so you want that standard set pretty quickly. But Northern Hemisphere, they're all having a bit of a snooze, summer siesta, right? So, look, I'm sure when we hear about it, we'll hear about it, and he'll be suspended for. Let's assume there's a suspension. it's probably going to be some club rugby first. I'm not sure. Depends on the calendar. But there'll be some probably a mixture of tests and club. So, yeah, let's see. Anyway, the process is underway. So we're only speculating now.
Speculating, correct. Alrighty. Next is female referees for the match official study. Correct. Is this the one from the University of Sydney?
Yes.
That you're referring to? Yeah.
Yes.
We need more.
Yes.
I have my interview next week, everyone. I reshared the link on our previous pod. So I'll reshare it again in the documents. Thank you for people that did send me messages to remind me. So I sent them to them individually.
Good.
It's really interesting. I got some intro questions to sort of get myself thinking about it as well. So it's all about decision making, what maybe external factors might affect that. And I think it's a really interesting study that needs to be done. So yes, shout out to all female referees that are listening. I will share that and look out for it. And in terms of if you're in a different location in the world, the person who's doing the study, PhD student, she was very open to different timings. So yeah, I'm sure she'll be happy to oblige to get all her research. So yeah, next post-match mental well-being document. All right, this document
is that from the webinar?
Yeah, someone in a rugby referee group chat shared it to me. So there's this like 2-pager post-match mental well-being document that Rugby Australia made, which had some highlights about. It goes into sort of reflecting that as match officials, we make a lot of decisions, obviously, in a match. And some people get either really fatigued after matches or actually might get really exhilarated and might be a bit hyped up for a little bit. And it's just being able to give some tools and recognize if you're finding things difficult, like what you can do to help reflect off the game, maybe not overthink certain things. There's physical recovery, being able to decompress and reflect, because a lot of times you dealt with a lot of people, a lot of things that day, and being able to have enough hydration and nutrition is also important. So yeah, it was a really good 1-pager. And I think it's just nice to reflect as a match official. Like, we do get stress and anxiety. There's mental fatigue, self-doubt, burnout, and emotional stress. It all happens within being a referee. Yeah, I think it's just being aware of it. And it's great that Rugby Australia are trying to recognize it and give us tools to able to manage it, which is great. Because we want people to return back every week, and we want more people. There you go.
Sounds like a good resource, Candace, and something that you should probably have in your blue folder of truth for reference.
Yeah, I should print it out.
Print it out, or have it somewhere handy you can access for those moments when you just need a little quiet reflection and something to give you some, you collectively, something to just assist getting through that window. Because sometimes you come off a match and go, oh.
Yeah. Or even then, sometimes you go off your own match and go straight into an AR appointment. So you don't even get time to decompress. So it's also really good points to.
Yeah. That's actually a real challenge, I think. I think the mental challenge of going from a referee to an AR with almost no stand down time. You basically got time to put your comms kit on, then you're back out there with a flag in your hand. And the
for me, it's just trying to down as many snakes or fluid. Trying to get my energy back up.
Comms kit, maybe bathroom, liquids, a little bit of energy, and frame of reference, because you've got to switch from being a referee to being an assistant referee. And as I say to my
very different things.
ARs, it's a different set of eyes. Your eyes have to work differently because your eyes have a different job. And if you have that trigger, then it means you get in. It helps you get in the right headspace to assist the referee on the whistle.
Yeah.
So that mental side of it's really, really important. So absolutely, it's all right. That's a really good resource. Well done.
The women's Super Rugby finals. So that was Fiji versus the Waratahs. So yeah, Fiji drew out versus the Waratahs.
Yes.
It was, to me, watching it, I felt as though Fiji's handling skills could have been better in itself. I think they had opportunities there and they just didn't come to the party, unfortunately. And it was, to me, a little bit of a one-sided game in the first half, but then they came back in the second half for a little bit, which was really good rugby. Congrats to Ella Goldsmith, who refereed that. Jess Sling was on the sideline, and Amber. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So perfect. It was a great team of 3.
And Rachel was TMO.
Correct. Yeah. There we go. So perfect.
So
all female.
Dream team.
Yeah. Dream team.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I hope Rachel's recovering well. I know she had a bit of a hip surgery last time I saw her, so I'm happy that she's back out there. So speedy recovery as well.
Absolutely. So yeah, the match was interesting, wasn't it, Candace? Yeah, the Tars really came out of the box, didn't they? And they put Fiji, or the Drua, to the sword pretty early.
Yeah.
And the Drua scored a couple of late tries to make the scoreline look a little more respectable.
Bit better.
But they were
was
never
not
in
looking
it.
good in the first half.
No.
Was it
no,
not what,
I'm
like
sure if it had got
12-0 or more than that? I think there was a try disallowed right before the halftime as well, because it was knocked forward, I think. So it would have been even more.
Yeah, that's right. It was a very dominant display. So the 9-10 combination for the Tars worked really well. Tia Hines, Dolly from the Sevens program, and the Barb, Waiaria Ellis. So that was pretty amazing. She's 18 and she's starting to find her feet at 10. They've moved around the players in the back line a fair bit this year, but they seem to be settling on combination. Although this week there's a slightly different team, so no Desi Miller, so I can only assume she's injured. She was playing well as well.
Right.
But
she was taped up and had a scrum cap and everything. I don't know what it was.
A great shiner. So I hope she's not hurt too much. So get well soon, Desi, if you are. And if it's simply because we've got really good backs to choose from, that's a good problem as well.
Yeah.
And
correct. Yeah.
I think that goes back to the theme of this pod. T has come out of the Sevens program, professional player, and the girls are heading towards full professional status by the end of the year. So we're starting to see the benefits of that coming through in the play. That was their best performance of the year by a long way. So
yeah, they had a few hiccups at the beginning of the year with the Tars. Like they normally don't lose matches, and they were losing matches. It's still very close though. But yeah, I feel like they're getting their groove at the right time, which is fine.
Well, and a shout out to Horse, Emily Robinson. She has 7 Super Rugby titles.
Yes. Yeah. Crazy.
So Horse, that's awesome.
Yeah. That's sick. One to bring up as well, in the 58th minute, there was, from someone who's watching from Stan, by the way, it looked like a Fijian player jumped from the ruck to make a try. To me, like, obviously there's lots of bodies in this scenario. We're talking about like when it's like not even a meter away from the try line and everyone's on the goal line. Anyway, Ella rewarded the try. It was their first one after obviously 58 minutes of playing rugby. It'd be interesting to see if they look back on it. To me, it looked like a leap, but I feel like...
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Because this is an area that we've discussed before, and Fiji and Ella have had this situation earlier in the tournament. Fiji did exactly the same in a match a few weeks ago with Ella in the middle. You know, we've had a couple of law clarifications around this over the years.
You even have a special article there, Rob, don't you?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, Candace. So at the start of the year, I wrote about this because of what we saw. Nice plug. Didn't even prep you on that. Because of what we saw in Super Rugby Pacific with Super Vai and Bok and the try that he scored. So there's
I think it's the situation. It's hard because you can't, as a tackle, someone who's defending, you can't be tackling someone who's in the air, but then someone with the ball, you can't be jumping and it's hard when you're in those scenarios around a try area.
There's a lot of nuance. I actually had a try scored in my match in New Zealand on the weekend, very similar to this one. It was probably about the same time, actually. No, it was a couple of hours before. And if you're going to dive over a ruck, you can't make contact with the players underneath you. And
because then are you collapsing a ruck, or were you part of it? It just gets really, there's so many things.
Yeah,
2
so
feet,
many
1
issues. Deemed
foot.
dangerous. So let's not do that. But, this one was fairly clear. It was on the edge of the ruck, didn't touch any bodies materially. So we'll let it stand. And mine was almost a carbon copy of that as well. So, pick and drive situation, pile of bodies. In both cases, no defender really made an effort to try and tackle them. So you didn't have that issue to deal with. So, it's one of those tricky ones. Ultimately, it's the match official's call.
Yeah, exactly. And it didn't change the result anyway. So,
Nope.
So there you go. Next. That was the only rugby I watched. So anything after this would be from you, Rob. So
all right.
I didn't even watch this one. Is this a test from my own country?
Yes, I put this in one of your 4 nations.
I can't believe I didn't watch it.
Candace.
I know.
It was, where was it played? It was played at that Rugby Heartland, Winnipeg, if I remember correctly.
And this was a match Canada versus Zimbabwe. Is this correct?
Yes, in the Princess Auto Stadium, no less, in Winnipeg. Mm-hmm. And we had Thomas Patazza on the whistle, Jean-Luc Ganecki and Mike Lawrenson were the ARs, and Alan Griffiths, not surprisingly from Wales, was the TMO. So there was a bit going on here. Firstly, they had a lightning delay. So we've seen a few lightning delays in recent times.
What's going on? It's planet.
Yeah. So about 33 minutes into the first half, they all chuffed off for just under an hour. The weather wasn't great. It was wet. So they disappeared, came back, warmed up. The match got underway. But as a consequence of the weather, the comms weren't working very well. So Zimbabwe's first try, well into the second half, was line out to maul, and then the ball carrier dives over in the corner. So they had some issues around grounding. So we could hear the referee talking on the stadium comms, but they had no connection to the TMO. So
no.
Dude from sideline runs on with mobile phone, hands it to the referee.
Oh, there you go.
The ref's on the mobile talking to the TMO. We can't hear what the TMO is saying. We can hear what the referee's saying. They're looking at the big screen, pointing up the screen. Chat. Okay. Hands the phone back. Try. So, and
well, hey, it worked. Did it? Yeah. Without wasting a bunch of more time trying to figure out comms. This is a good way of,
And you've heard me tell the story before. That was exactly what I was going to be. I was going to be the dude with the phone, relaying TMO decisions in a match we had in Sydney where the comms went down. So not unprecedented. As it turned out, in my case, the comms went back up. Super Rugby game. But the TMO on that occasion was Brett Cronin.
Yeah.
So
make sure you guys, everyone exchanges numbers before the match.
Yes.
So
correct.
In a worst case scenario.
Correct. And Brett, bless him, has managed to get himself featured recently on socials for a no-arms tackle.
Oh, my goodness.
Well done, Brett. I don't know if anyone's seen it. It's a hospital cup game.
Is that the one I shared in our group chat? Yeah.
Yeah. The outside in play, the James Slipper special play and all its precursors. And the ball carrier is just going, yep, fantastic. Oh, shit, there's a referee in the way. Bang. And down he went. It's probably fair to say it was a collision of equals, and everyone bounced up smiling, and the chat on the socials was pretty funny. So
was that the one where it's like, I haven't tackled in 10 years or something like that?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Brett's mates would give him a fair bit of stick. It was pretty funny. So
I like
nice
that
work.
Being able to smile and laugh it off a bit.
Oh, look, it was clearly an accident. It was just one of those yin and yang, zigzag.
Should have given himself a yellow card.
Go. So, very funny. So, well done. Well done. Candace, you want to talk about scrums, didn't you?
Yes. We might not have time in this pod, but maybe I want to plant a seed a little bit because I've been listening to a few other pods that are mainly like either rugby coaches or players' point of view. And they seem to be chatting about how they either don't understand the referee's point of view about legal dominance or dominance in the scrum about how just being able to keep on pushing players, or they miss the contest basically. And they're finding that referees are just pinning it all the time early and not actually being able to have the contest itself. And I think it's a really interesting point of view. And it's something where I think as someone who's still quite early on, and it's part of my briefing as well about legal dominance, to make it clear to players about what I'm looking for. And what I want to ask, well, you and Piercy, was that I know there's loads of different scrum coaching opportunities for us as referees to do live things with players beforehand. And I think you went to one the other night, and I just wanted to see if this was ever mentioned in it. I know I've done one, and for us it's about the setup and really seeing the whole setup and setting that standard early because, and the dominant side, there are a few laws around it as well, which I think people don't understand. So that was another thing I wanted to mention.
The scrum is incredibly complex, isn't it? And that's part of the joy of it. It's one of the great features of our sport. And trying to unpack it, it's continuous improvement for everyone, the scrummagers, the referees, the coaches. And trying to work out what's important and what's not is again, part of the challenge. So can a scrum be legally dominant and therefore the opposite scrum be passive without being illegal? Yes. So you might push the other team 25 metres down the pitch, and the team.
If you have a good 8 who can keep the ball in as well.
Yeah, that's right. And the team pushing and going, well, where's the penalty? And you might go, well, there's no penalty. They haven't done anything wrong. They're just not going forwards there. And you've got a 25-metre game. Play on. And the benefit of that is you're going forward. The defence is going back. They're a little bit dishevelled. All the forwards are tied in. There's no penalty really needed because they haven't done anything wrong. Ultimately, they usually do. Someone trips over their foot or prop loses a bind or whatever, and it all turns to mush at some point. Or someone in the non-dominant scrum goes, we can't have this. We're going to have to do something. We're going to have to bring this down. And they do because the penalty is probably a better option than the alternative. So, all those little factors come into play when you look at that picture. So, yes, you can be – there's no law per se on scrum dominance, but there's lots of nuance around scrum illegality. Yeah. So one of the things that I like to say to my front rows when I brief them is, look, if you're not getting penalties at scrum because you think you're dominant, it's probably because you're not being legal. Yeah. So if you want the benefit of that, you've got to be really squeaky clean. And if you're up to mischief, all bets are off. So... And you say
and
that
also,
to
like,
both
a good
teams.
scrum day makes it flow so much better as well. So, it's all about that setup as well. And there's interesting facts about referees that allow it to continue as a contest versus some that pin early or reset quite a bit. I think I've heard there's different facts around that, or teams know different referees do stuff differently.
Oh, absolutely. At the elite level.
At the elite level, or anyone who's in higher grades within rugby here in Australia in our clubs. So,
the coaches will profile the referees at elite level and know what they like and don't like and how to game that, really. And that's part of the yin and yang of the scrum versus match official.
So, I would argue for those like pods I listen to, you also need to do your own research about who the referee is and then ask the questions beforehand in the briefing, because then you'll get an idea of what their point of view is and then play the referee. That would be my suggestion.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what we see
gains you
every
that
week.
extra 3 points or whatever you need, then hey ho.
Well, I think it's also interesting, you talk about the bad scrum days, but sometimes bad scrum days are actually good scrum days because the teams are almost cancelling each other out in that they're both being a bit naughty, but the naughtiness doesn't impact the game, but it makes it interesting for you as a match official. And sometimes you get some great banter too. The opposing props each trying to get the moral high ground over the other at scrum time in the eyes of the match official. I mean, that's theatre in itself, right? Listening to those guys and girls chatter away. I quite enjoy that. And having the benefit of having played in the front row, that adds a dimension to it, particularly when the players finally realise that.
Yeah.
Because, I'm not the weight I used to play at. So it's a little bit of a surprise when I say, I remember those days. And they go, Oh, shit.
Little turn.
Oh,
What?
he might know a thing or two about scrums. So when he says, "Oh, okay," so there's a credibility leap as
Yeah.
well. So then the dynamic changes a little bit.
Changes, yeah, a little bit of rapport there too. So did you learn
Yeah,
anything
that's
new
right.
from this scrum session yesterday that they had at Daceyville? You were on a scrum
Yeah, so
machine as well, I heard.
yeah, well, yeah, we did some live drills. That was fun. I enjoyed that, and yeah, packed a few scrums on the scrum machine. That was good. Haven't been on a scrum machine for a while, so that was good fun.
Yeah, I'm
we were
always
just
second
warming up
row,
the
so I've
scrum.
never actually had to hit it. I've always been like
Yeah,
the person behind.
it's very different, Candace, and we're talking about this on the night. It's a very different feel to a live scrum because scrum machines at a certain height. It's nice soft pads. It's a very
There's
even
no heads
surface. Yeah. So there's a whole
or
bunch of things that are
arms.
different. Personally, I prefer live scrummaging because it's more authentic. But if you haven't got that, then scrum machine's next best thing. So we actually warmed the scrum machine up for the Waratahs because they were
Look at you
training with
guys.
us. So they came and did some sets on the scrum machine. I've got to say, they're pumped for the weekend, just quietly. They were hitting it hard. It was great to see. So really enjoyed that. So back to your original question, what did I learn?
Anything new?
I learned
Anything
number
more?
one, you've got to keep learning because you can teach old dogs new tricks. There's always evolution in the scrum. For example, now break foot and how that's managed is a whole new level compared to when we didn't have it. So being really aware of mischief on break feet
Yeah,
is
that's
really
an interesting
important.
one. I need to ask. I'll ask my coaches about it because they're really hard on it when it was first came out, and I've been a bit lax since then.
And
so I need to check.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think
Anyway.
again, it's that continuum from elite to community.
Yeah.
What's deliberate and what's a lack of competence, and that's one of the things that you got to try and judge as well. Is that mischief or is that he's just buggered, or doesn't know what he's doing, or is she new to the game, or is she playing on the wrong side? Well, whatever it might be, you got all these variables you got to try and make a call on, and then how you manage it. Do you sanction? Do you manage? Do you mix it up? Do you have a chat, etc.? So, break foot and balance. If you can get those right, most of the other stuff comes with it. Not always, but there are a couple of key takeaways. Get the balance right. I like to see stability. If the feet are moving, you've got an issue. If you can get the feet stationary, get the break foot and the break feet in the right spot, you go a long way to getting a good foundation. So, shout out to Matt Tinky, friend of the pod, for running that, and everyone who turned up. We had some mods, some referees. Yeah, it was a good show.
Shall we end with appointments? Da, 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 da.
You've been waiting all
I am
pod for this, haven't you?
I have, correct.
All right. So the crossover final championship appointments for this weekend are as follows. New South Wales Waratahs versus Auckland at the 8th one to the World Leichhardt Oval. Number one referee is Ella Goldsmith.
Yay! Congrats, Ella.
AR1, Amber McLaughlin.
Woo.
AR2, Jess Ling.
Yay, Australia.
TMO, Rachel Horton.
Oh, sick.
So it is the dream team. And
yay, dream team.
Well done, girls. That's 2 weeks in a row, same team of 4. That's really exciting. There is no foul play review officer, so Rachel will be doing her own reviews. And she's a guinea pig because she will be in a TMO bunker in Brisbane.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
There you go.
So
I hope the connection is good.
Yeah,
because
I hope we don't have any weather issues.
Yeah, I'm about to say, who will be the phone person?
Correct.
In that
scenario.
Won't be me
because I'm not on that match, but I can give them some tips. So, well done, girls. Congratulations.
That group, and whistle well. And I'm excited to see how the game goes.
I'd like to get there. I've got a 3:15 kickoff, so I'm not sure if I can get there, but if I can get there, I will.
Get there as in to watch it versus like fly
yeah,
there.
yeah, absolutely. No, not to Brisbane. No, to Leichhardt. Yeah, definitely want to get to Leichhardt because I think that'd be a cracking game. And it'll give us just a little sense of where the two competitions are because I think the shape of those two comps will change next year and there'll be more engagement. The seasons will be longer and there'll be some sort of crossover, a longer crossover. That's a possibility. Hasn't been locked away, but there's a bit of talk about that. So that's pretty exciting. So, yeah.
Yay. Well, great news. Thank you all for listening. And you can find us on YouTube as well if you want to see our beautiful faces. Yeah. I look forward to, guess what? It'll be the first time I'll be refereeing at Manly Oval. And I've been living in Manly for 2 years.
That is awesome.
I finally have hit gold where I can walk to my rugby match. So
That
for
is
anyone that doesn't
sensational.
know, I've been traveling everywhere on any public transport to the dawn of time. So thank you. Hopefully nothing changes. Yeah, I'm excited about that. And shall report back to you guys next week.
And next week, a little heads up.
Oh.
If I have got this right, I think next week is a very special week for the pod.
Oh, do we have a special episode count? Years?
We do.
Holler.
We have a special episode coming up. Yeah. Assuming I've got that right. Yes, I do have that right. Yes, next week is a very special episode. So
get even more excited, everyone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sweet.
Absolutely.
Well, we're going to sign off now. This is where
we are.
You and Piercy say how great I am. Is that right?
Well, look, Piercy, you didn't do much today, mate. I mean, lift your game. You were very quiet, which is unlike you.
Too much of a workload in the accounting industry.
Yeah, I know.
At the moment.
I'm assuming his abacus is broken, so hopefully he gets it repaired and he's back on deck next week, because next week's a biggie.
See you later and whistle well.
Jouer.